Oh, so this is Hispanic and Latino cultural elements. Cultural elements are categories of things and ideas that identify the most profound aspects of cultural influence. Several researchers have identified 5 cultural elements, so material culture, things and ideas, social institutions, schools, governments, religious organization, belief system, ideas about individual and the universe. Aesthetics, art, dance, music, theater, language, verbal and nonverbal communication systems. As we mature, we learn to value these cultural elements. We were not born knowing what we liked in music, clothes, and automobiles. Through inculturation, the process of communicating a group's culture from generation to generation, you learn what you liked by choosing from among the elements available within your culture. Your friends, colleagues, the media, and most importantly, your family communicate information about these elements and advocate choices for you to make. Cultures are not static. Cultures change as new information and new influences penetrate groups' stores of knowledge. Some changes come about as a result of scientific discoveries, but others change takes place through acculturation, where we acquire other approaches, beliefs, and values by coming into contact with other cultures. Material culture. 83.4% of Hispanics and Latinos are private wage and salary workers, compared with 79% of the general population. Of Hispanics in the civilian labor force, 79,400 are chief executives, 50,866 physicians and surgeons, 48,720 post-secondary teachers, 38,552 lawyers, and 2,726 reporters. In 2002, there was 1.6 million Hispanic-owned businesses in the United States. Nearly 43% of Hispanic-owned firms operated in construction, administrative, and support, waste management, and remediation services, and other services such as personal service and repair and maintenance. 44.6% of Hispanic-owned firms were owned by Mexicans, Mexican Americans, and Chicanos. So this is one of the graphs I have. It's occupation within the highest concentration of Hispanic workers. So we have 43% are farming, fishing, and forestry, 37 with building, a ground cleaning and maintenance, 35 at construction and extraction, 27 at food preparation and serving, and 23 at transportation and material moving. Hispanics are driving labor force growth. So we can see here we have Hispanic and non-Hispanic, and Hispanics are really between 1990 and then 2000. There was a big jump in the thousands, and then we have, by like 5,000 here. And then from 20 to 2010, we have a little decline and a decline. And then for 2020 to 2030, this is up the projected. That's not with COVID now, By 2030, 1 out of 5 workers will be Hispanic, projected in 2030 here. So religious institutes. The religious affiliation of Hispanic and Latinos in the United States is 55% Catholic, 22% Protestant, 8% secular, 3% other Christian, and 1% other faiths. So this is just showing that here in this graph. Renewalist Christianity, which emphasizes God's ongoing day-to-day intervention in human affairs through the Holy Spirit, appears to be much more prevalent among Hispanics than among their non-Latino counterparts. 2/3 of Hispanic/Latino worship attend churches with Latino clergy, where services are offered in Spanish and where most other worshipers are Hispanic or Latino. Belief system. Most Hispanics believe that God is an active force in their everyday life. Most Latinos pray every day. Most have a religious object in their home, and most attend a religious service at least once a month. Faith and church are often central to family and community life. This is especially apparent in the understanding of illnesses and healing. Familiaso is the value of family over individual or community needs, and the expression of strong loyalty, reciprocity, and solidarity among family members. These are some graphs I have on schools, so educational institutes. We see Hispanic, Black high school dropout rates are records low than they've ever been. So like if we start here in 93 for the year, it was about 33 for Hispanics, and now it's down by 2014 to 12. Same with Blacks is about 16 down to 7. College completion by race and ethnicity. So as far as what's completing college, we have our Asians at 63, whites at 41, Blacks 22, and Hispanics are 15. There's another thing for Hispanic on education. 24% of Latino adults have an associate's degree or higher, compared to 44% of all U.S. adults have an associate's degree or higher. Aesthetics. The Chicano movement in the 1960s and 1970s brought about a new assertiveness in how Mexican Americans saw themselves in a new America. This political and cultural movement, identified as La Raza, sprouted a relevant art scene, made publicly famous by its bold and colorful wall murals. Several groups or coalitions are designed specifically to promote the work of Hispanic artists. Hispanic Latinos have many holiday celebrations that are not generally celebrated by others in the United States, such as La Semana Santa, Three Kings Day, or El Dia de los Tres Magos. Sorry if I butcher these, I'm not good with Spanish. On January 6th, Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, on November 1st and 2nd. The Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe on December 12th, and Las Poseladas the 9 days prior to Christmas Day. Food plays an important role in Hispanic culture. In some Hispanic cultures, a good meal will be balanced in food and herbs by hot and cold types. Those who eat foods whose temperatures are wrong for them can get sick. A good appetite is associated with good health. Children are not forced to eat foods that they resist because their preferences are respected. A mother or grandmother will withhold a food she thinks causes illness from her child's diet. A list of harmful foods is passed along from generation to generation, with other food beliefs from mother to daughter. Language. So over here I have a group that say most Hispanics say speaking Spanish not necessary to be considered Hispanic. So that shows that here of how many think it's not necessary, and it is. Foreign born, US born, and it's all relatively low. So, language. Most immigrants speak English regularly, and the youngest ones also make it their preferred language of use. Some of the younger Hispanics/Latinos abandon the use of Spanish altogether. Verbal communication is courteous and respectful, using the Spanish form, so the formal, polite you to address others. In nonverbal communication, maintaining eye contact can be interpreted by Mexicans as a challenge or intimidation. Hispanic social norms emphasize the importance of communication in interpersonal relationships. So this just shows some primary language graph here I found. So all Hispanics, Spanish dominant is about 38%, bilingual 38%, and then English dominant 24. And then Hispanics by generation, so you see that by first generation, it's about 61% Spanish dominant and 33 English, well, bilingual. And then you get to second, and it's like 8% Spanish dominant and 53% bilingual. And And then this is just another graph showing percentage of children who speak another language than English in the home in the U.S. in 2018 by race. So Hispanic is still kind of high as far as in the home people speaking another language than English. Closely followed by Asian and Native Hawaiian.